73 throws because it was working on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, second half obviously got a little sideways, and so you end up throwing the ball a little bit more than you care to do. But that's kind of the way the game played out. But after the game, you look at it and you're like, wow, that's a lot. But that's kind of how it played out.
So you've been charged with the responsibility to try to find a way to run the football.
Sure.
This week.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How's that going?
Good. Yeah. I mean, we're really that's been the focus, is trying to get that solved, and there's some things schematically that we need to clean up, and then also some execution stuff. So that's been the focus.
How much is the offensive line man to man just doing their job?
Like I said, it's a little bit of everything. It is. It's everybody on board, and sometimes it's one guy not making the play. Sometimes schematically there's an extra guy in there. So
sure.
We do got to do a better job executing, and we got to give him a better chance.
I got a couple questions about blocking. The year before you got here, Mike was very effective blocking for Curtis Samuel in two-back sets. You guys haven't done any of that. Is that a thought? And it may not be a role he's real excited about. Nobody is, blocking, and they can block for each other. But is that a possibility that you could see those two guys playing together? I know it pulls a receiver or a tight end off the field, but
right.
What's your thought about that?
Yeah. I mean, we are. We honestly, we've gone back and we've watched some films. We've looked at some other things, and so looking at every different possibility, different personnel groupings and different schemes, I think in times like these you have to figure out, is it the scheme or is it the execution, and making sure that you're not overreacting as well.
Mm-hmm. Offensive line question there. The way these games are played now, you ran 100 plays in the game the other day.
Yep.
The week before against Indiana, it was like 80 degrees. Indiana is subbing a fresh four-man defensive line in the middle of the series where you still have your same five guys out there the entire game. Is it a possibility that you start mixing in one backup guy here or whatever, or playing a second line? They've done that here in the past. The second line has even come in. Just getting other guys involved on the offensive line. 100 plays seems like a lot to expect maximum efficiency out of the offensive line.
Yeah, well, I think that, again, some of it had to do with the game, and that, we were throwing the ball late, and so a lot of it played into that number. That's not something that we're typically running 100 plays in a game, and we have there have been times when in heat games we've rolled the line, we've rolled some guys in there, but I don't think that was an issue in terms of the number of plays in the game. But I do think it had to do with the way the game played out too in the end.
Ryan, is it possible to have a good red zone offense when the running game is struggling?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we had opportunities to throw the ball down there too. They would put the extra guy in the box, and we were in 11 personnel, and we didn't connect. One time to Terry and a couple times to Ben over there on the fade. And, we make those plays, then we score, and things are different. So, when they put the extra guy down there, we have to throw it, or we have to get somebody else in there to block them. So, again, looking at both of those things. But at the end of the day, if we execute a little better, then we're okay.
How hard is it as a coach? You guys preach, imposing your will on the other team. But how hard is the dilemma between that and also then taking kind of what the defense gives you? It seems like there's a push-pull there.
Nah, well, we want to be a tough team. We want to be a team that goes right at you and hits you in the mouth. And so had a great practice yesterday, really, big emphasis on that. And that, we do have to impose our will on teams. And, we throw the ball a little bit more this year than we have. And so our guys are doing a nice job in protection, but also having the ability to come off the ball and knock somebody in the mouth. Yeah.
How much work have you done this week that you could reassure Buckeye Nation? Fans are fanatical.
Sure.
They jump off the cliff. Is it being fixed? Are you making progress?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's the focus, and we've been working hard since the game was over to get that solved, and that's what you do as coach. You should fix the problems. You don't run away from them. You deal with them head on, and that's what we're going to do.
Specifically about this week, how does that work? Because you're this far into a season, and you can't reinvent the wheel. You kind of have what you have, but you can also make it better.
Yeah.
So how do you go about fixing your issues versus also getting ready for the run ahead here?
Yep.
In specifics that might pay off in a game situation.
It'd be
how
hard.
does that work?
Yeah, it'd be hard to do if it wasn't a bye week,
Right.
but it is a bye week, so it gives you a little bit of extra time in there and a few extra practices to kind of solve that. And you're right. I mean, some schemes are 4 down, some schemes are 3 down, and trying to solve the problems of making sure schematically you're right. And so I think that's being accurate with what we're assessing, because I think when you look at it, what is the problem? Is it the scheme? Is it the personnel? Is it the execution? And then pinpointing that and then getting it solved.
Ryan, should we anticipate any personnel changes?
I mean, we're going to let the guys practice this week, and those guys will be working hard. I do think a bye week allows some of the younger guys to get in there and get more reps. And so, at this point of the year, who's improved, who hasn't, and so we're always looking at those younger guys to go challenge some of the older guys and some of the guys who are starters. So that's kind of ongoing this week, and then we'll kind of come up at the end of the week.
See how it goes.
Yeah.
You guys have great depth of receiver, but losing Austin Mack, what does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, Austin's a really good player, and so we're going to miss him. Good news is we got a good group of guys there that we can, provide some depth with, and some older guys as well. But obviously, losing a guy like Austin hurts.
You have an opportunity on Saturday to do. I mean, you're going to do advanced scouting on everybody, obviously, but it's an opportunity to be in a different role for you during a season. When a bye week Saturday comes up and the games are on, how do you all as coaches view the Saturday? What do you do? Do you watch college football? Do you completely get away from it? How does it work for you and your families and all the things you have to kind of worry about?
Yeah, so we're jumping in this week. Obviously, we do some recruiting, and then we obviously are spending a lot of time on running the football, and the red zone obviously is a huge emphasis. But then when you have some time to catch your breath, it's good to be with your family and spend some time with them, because during the season you don't get a lot of that time, and you get taken from your family a lot. So anytime you get with your family, you get refreshed, but there'll be football on Saturday, and we'll be watching it, and that's part of the day.
Hey Ryan, I don't want to overstate this, because I mean you were scoring 77 points, but it seems like the issues that we're discussing now are the same ones that were cropping up a little bit in weeks 1, 2, 3. What is it, given that gives you confidence that now that we're heading into week 9, that things can get solved, even though they've existed since the beginning of the season?
Well, I think anytime you have things that you're working on, you're constantly trying to get them better, and when you lose a game like this, they get exposed a little bit more, and so you got to dig into them a little bit harder.
Is there a frustration, like the defense is the same thing, where a lot of their issues have been since the beginning of the season? Is there a frustration sort of in your rooms with coaches that these are the same things we've been talking about for months?
No, I don't think so. I think that we're all professionals. We've been through this before, and we go about the business to get them fixed.
Coaches, Brandon Bowen, is he close to coming back? Is he full go yet, or what's his status?
No, he's close. He's getting back into doing some individual work, and so we're hopeful that he can get back into going full practice here pretty soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.